This is a video on how to write feedback. This is a hot topic in most of the VIPKID Facebook groups amongst teachers, and how to write good feedback and how to write feedback in a timely manner. So hopefully after this video you have a good idea of how to write feedback well and in a timely manner. So me personally, I can write my feedback in between all of my classes. This should be something that you make good practice of doing, unless you have to take a potty break, which sometimes I have to do that. I have to go pee, or my kid wakes up and I have to go tend to them between that 5-minute break. But when my classes are done and I have my last class, I can do, if I have 2 classes that I missed, I can wrap those up in less than 5 minutes. Done. So your first thing that you want to do is Ed Nance. You want to get his book. He has an extended version. It's about, I think the PDF or the book is about $40. It seems kind of steep, but I'm telling you, I put it off and put it off and put it off. And then I finally got it, and it's been a time saver, and I get 5 Apple reviews from a lot of my parents because of this feedback. So this is what I do when writing my feedback. I can't show you on my computer, but on my computer I have a Word document that I've copy and pasted sections out of the book, because if you get Ed's book, it basically will be, let's see, so I'm going to write it out. Let's see, so it's broken up into sections. I write terribly right now. And this is how it's broken up. So each section, there's pretty much a section for every single kid you're going to teach. It's just, I've gone through the whole book. So when I say section, I mean that, so this one is one of them, it says expand the lesson, student. So underneath this will be maybe 5 feedbacks that he has written that you can use. And this is just one example. One of them is always improving student. There's like 6 or 7 feedbacks underneath there. And so what I have done is I have copy and pasted all these sections into a Word doc, and I've bolded the, so I'm going to look at my Word doc while I have it up. So these are just a few that I have. Well, I have a lot of them on here, but I'm going to give you some main ones. There is participation in listening to the teacher student. There is, if student is parroting, practice completing sentences, knows complete sentences, does not repeat when required, does not repeat accurately, doesn't read attentively. There's a whole phonics section, and feedback regarding phonics. There's one for if a student generally does really good, if a student is soft-spoken, if they are, let's see, what are some other ones that I use a lot? Generic good student, friendly student, not afraid of trying hard things, expand the lesson student, self-control to finish the basic lesson, assigning homework. I really like this one because it assigns a little bit of class homework to them, and it's not anything major. It's just repeating, watching the playback and repeating after the teacher and making the sounds that the teacher is making, so that they're better prepared for the next class. So basically all the ones I just read out, I have bolded all of them, and then I've put the feedbacks underneath, and I formatted them. Basically, I just put see you, Teacher Kelly, at the very end, and at the very beginning, I put, let me see if I have one pulled up. So always at the very beginning of every feedback that I write, I always put, thank you for sharing this class with me, Ava. Or thank you for this fabulous class, Cindy. Or another wonderful class with Sherman. I mean, that's at every single feedback I do. I always put thank you at the very beginning, always. And then at the very end, I always put see ya or see you, Teacher Kelly. And I never ask for 5 apples. I never ask for feedback. I just, and I do not write my feedback, if that makes sense. Like I copy and paste it, and I change the names in the template, and I put the thank you at the beginning and the see you, Teacher Kelly at the end. And maybe somewhere in there, if I'm feeling, you know, that I've got some extra time or I had a really good class with that student, I usually put at the end, so that main template is my main chunk of the feedback. And then at the end, I usually put 5-star lesson. Teacher Kelly is really proud of you. Great job on a very impressive lesson today. You are a star, just something at the end that makes it tailored to that student. And I might put in there if they did something really, really good that day. I might put in there that we, like some of my students are really good at making their own sentences. So I might put in there, you know, Ava was really good today with creating sentences. She made this sentence, and that's all I put in it. I do not break up the lesson. They can watch the playback. Parents don't like that. Ed says that in his book, that parents do not want a play-by-play of the playback. They can watch the playback, guys, or they're sitting there. They don't need to know what Ava did in class that day when they were sitting right there. They know. They want to know what she can work on, what she did good at, and they want to know why you are doing what you're doing in class. So in my feedback, once you've started doing the feedback quite a few times and you kind of see, you kind of read all the feedbacks, you start getting a feel for how to teach. Not that you don't know how to teach already, but you start taking things from the feedback. One of the big things that I've started doing that is in the feedback is using body language and body movements while I am trying to get them to repeat words. So I do a lot of this. I do a lot of this. I do a lot of this, so that because that is a couple of the feedbacks is on body function movements, and it explains why we use body function, or we move our different parts of our body, and why we use TPR in the classroom, and why I'm repeating it to Ava 5, 3, 4, however many times. And then when you explain yourself in all these feedbacks, explain why you're doing stuff in the classroom. And I think that's why these are so good for parents, is because it explains everything and breaks it down. So, if you're doing something in your class and the parent is like, why the heck is she doing that? Like, I don't like that. If you go in your feedback and you explain why you did that, then they're like, oh, she's doing that so that he will retain that information. And by using body movements, it cements it in their brain because they're using this function at the same time. So that's how I do my feedback. I have this Word doc open, copy, paste, add a little bit here and there, done. Sometimes I don't even add anything. I just put thank you for this lesson, Ava, then whatever I copy and paste. 5-star lesson, see you, Teacher Kelly. That's it, done. Teacher to teacher feedback, nah, sometimes I put it, sometimes I don't. I mean, I am not that teacher. I will usually put what the student did well in and how we were working on things. So I usually put, we are working on saying complete sentences. He is struggling with this, and this word. Like, I don't put a whole lot. That's just not me. Sorry, not a teacher to teacher feedback person. But buy Ed's book. Buy Ed's book. and then take out the passages that you want and put them all in a Word doc and leave them open on your computer. And then in between classes, open a separate tab, a second VIPKID tab, and then do your feedback in between classes. And if you don't, like, sometimes I don't get all the way finished, and I still have, like, the teacher-to-teacher feedback and the, like, if they're doing great or excellent, like, I have that part of it, and that's it. So if I don't get everything done in between that 5 minutes and that's all I have left, then I'll switch tabs into my new class, teach that class, and I'll go back to the tab, finish it up, exit it or submit it, exit it out, and go to the next student and start from there. And just a little secret, guys, if you have a student that's very similar to the other 3 students you've taught that morning, I just copy and paste and change the names. Because what if you're teaching a bunch of level 1s and they're all doing the same thing? Why do you need to write separate feedback for each one when they're all doing the same thing? Here's an example that I use for level 1s. Hang on, let me find it. This is a really good one for most of my little pre-VIP students that I use a lot with them. Where did it go? Okay. So pre-VIP, you always sing a song with pre-VIP. So here's one that is pretty generic for pre-VIP. You sing the song clearly and enthusiastically. This helps you get a natural sense of the language. This will lead to deep understanding of English. You are learning the rhythm and intonation of the English language. This awareness is necessary for speaking fluency. You are on the right path. She especially did a good job singing the song with me. Singing can really help our brains learn a new language. This is because learning a new language is just like learning the lyrics and the tune of a new song. Ava is starting a wonderful journey. She is learning how the English language is supposed to sound. This will empower her to speak correctly and fluently. You can use that with all your pre-VIP kids. If you have 5 in one morning, guess what? Copy and paste, because they're all going to sing. And they're all trying their best. So there you go. I do that a lot. If I do have a lot of kids that are like, they're kind of on the same level and they're doing the same thing and they need to learn the same things. So there you go. That's how I write my feedback. I get a lot of feedback from parents. Like I said, I get a lot of 5 apples. I usually get several a week. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm saying that because of Ed's book. Like, when I started using Ed's book, it changed how I started. It changed how I taught my classes. It changed how I wrote my feedback. It changed everything. So there you go. This is a hot topic. Do it this way because it is such a good way to do feedback, and it is so effective and not time consuming at all. And great for the parents and great for the student and great for you. So there you go.